Theodore.
There's another story coming right up, and you can always learn more about Theodore Tugboat on the internet. Find us through PBS Online.
Pushing and a pulling in the great big harbor, in the great big world is so much fun. So many brand new things to discover. Waking with the sun, gotta get the job done. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Voda, Hank and George, and the harbor master too.
Hello. I was just going on my official harbor inspection. Well, as you know, I always like to make sure that everything is shipshape here in the big harbor. Let's see how the old harbor master looks. Oh, yes. That's shipshape. Oh, I almost forgot. I can't go on an official inspection without my official whistle. There. Now, I'll just close this door up and I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. Oh, goodness me. This drawer's jammed. I can't seem to get it closed. Has something like this ever happened to you? Maybe I should ask Theodore what to do. You see, not long ago, Theodore had to help Emily out of a big jam.
Can't catch me, shouted Theodore. Oh, that's as easy as 1, 2, 3, laughed Emily, chasing her friend towards their dock. Theodore and Emily were playing tug tag before the morning work meeting. Emily raced with all her might, but she couldn't catch Theodore. Home free, shouted Theodore as he touched the dock. Theodore, puffed Emily all out of breath, you're just too fast for me. You won again. Theodore blew a happy whistle. I did, he smiled. All right, settle down, tugboats. The dispatcher was ready to begin the morning work meeting. A small ship needs to be taken out of the harbor, he announced. Emily, I would like you to take him. Emily tooted twice to say, on my way. And Theodore, added the dispatcher, I would like you to go along too. Me? Said Theodore, surprised. See, Emily usually pulled small ships all by herself. A storm might be coming, the dispatcher explained. I want you to go along too, just to be safe. Now, Emily always did such a good job. Theodore wasn't really sure she needed his help. Well, maybe I can do something, he told himself. Theodore and Emily arrived at the small ship's dock. The ship's name was Inverness. Sure enough, before Theodore could even say good morning to Inverness, Emily buttoned her tow rope on and turned him away from his dock with one smooth, powerful move. Emily, called Theodore, you make moving ships look so easy. It is easy, smiled Emily. Theodore was very impressed. You see, Theodore didn't really know how to move ships where you wanted them to go, like Emily, and it looked, well, pretty hard to him. Still, Theodore kept puffing along after Emily and Inverness as they started their way through the big harbor. Everyone was on alert for a gathering storm. Theodore could see George and Hank, not too far ahead, moving ships who were anchored in the middle of the harbor safely to their docks. Are you sure we can move Inverness through all those ships? Theodore called to Emily. It looked like there were a lot of ships in the way, and Theodore wasn't sure that even Emily could move Inverness around all of them. Oh, I do it all the time with much bigger ships, called Emily. Suddenly, Inverness began to turn away from Theodore. Then, Theodore saw that Emily was already beginning to steer Inverness around the first ship. It was all Theodore could do to hang on to his tow rope and keep up. Emily began to move Inverness around another ship. Theodore was trying and trying to help Emily turn the ship, but it was all he could do just to hang on with his tow rope.
Hey, Theodore! It looks like your ship is tugging you!
Laughed Hank with a merry toot-toot.
It's not funny, Hank.
Need some help from us? Called Bayswater Barge. Well, Theodore couldn't believe a barge had said that. Barges couldn't even move by themselves. Theodore chugged his engine as fast as he could, but Emily was already starting another turn and he couldn't keep up. Finally, he decided to just follow along behind Inverness.
Emily's so much better than me at moving ships where she wants them to go, he thought. What's the use of even trying?
Well, by the time Theodore and Emily were through the busy harbor, the waves were getting stronger and stronger.
Hang on tight, Theodore.
Emily shouted above the wind.
That storm is on its way now.
Hanging on is all I can do, Theodore thought to himself. Up ahead, Theodore could see Blandford, the bell buoy who marks the place where the harbor ends and the ocean begins. That meant that soon they'd be setting Inverness on his way across the ocean by himself. Theodore began to haul his tow rope in. He was certainly glad their job was over. You see, he always wanted to be a helpful tugboat. But right now, he wasn't feeling very helpful at all.
I didn't do anything, he told himself. I couldn't do anything.
Emily did everything. Theodore began to turn for home, when suddenly he heard a whistle.
Theodore,
Called Emily.
I think we should help Inverness a little farther out on the ocean just to be safe.
Now Theodore knew Emily was right. The storm was really beginning to batter against their bumpers.
Let's go,
Called Emily. But Theodore also thought Emily really didn't need his help. Moving Inverness seemed so easy for her.
Maybe I'll just stay here and wait for Emily,
He told himself. Emily began to steer Inverness towards the ocean.
Prepare to turn.
Emily called over the sound of the storm. But Theodore didn't answer. He was too far away now.
This ship seems heavy all of a sudden,
Grunted Emily. Inverness's cargo began to shift around on his deck. He was beginning to reel and roll in the storm. And Emily was finding it harder and harder to keep the ship floating steady.
Emily, why can't you keep me steady?
Cried Inverness. They were getting dangerously close to Owen, the giant oil rig who lives out on the ocean.
I'm trying to turn you,
She called. But try as she might, Emily couldn't get Inverness to go where she wanted him to go.
Hey, watch where you're going!
Bellowed Owen in his biggest oil rig voice. The terrible crack startled Theodore. Inverness's cargo was crashing together all over his deck. Why isn't Emily stopping him? He wondered. Theodore could see that Inverness was close to crashing right into Owen. Why isn't Emily turning him away? He wondered.
Help!
Cried Inverness.
Someone help me!
All of a sudden,
Theodore didn't think about what he could do or couldn't do. He only thought about what he had to do, right now. He raced as fast as his engine could take him. There was still a space between Inverness and Owen. If I can just squeeze in there, Theodore thought. One chance. There was one chance to save Inverness. Theodore held his breath. The waves and wind made it hard for him to keep steady, but somehow he slipped in. Not one bumper wider would have made it. Now he pushed with all his might. He knew it was up to him to push Inverness away from disaster. But could he get the heavy ship to go where he wanted him to go? I have to move you over there, Theodore shouted out loud. Now Emily roared her engine too, pulling along while Theodore kept pushing. Working together, the two mighty tugs slid Inverness past Owen to safety. Well, after the storm had passed, the tugs tooted goodbye to Inverness as he made his way out onto the ocean. At last. It was only when they heard his deep whistle of thanks that Theodore and Emily turned for home. Emily didn't say anything for the longest time. Theodore was quiet too. I was really glad you were there to help me, Theodore, Emily said at last. I didn't think you really needed my help, Theodore said softly. Well, why did you think that? Asked Emily. I guess, Theodore began slowly. I guess because, well, moving ships where you want them to go looks so easy for you. And also, because it's so hard for me. But you did move Inverness where you wanted him to go, said Emily. I did, smiled Theodore. I really did. Emily was quiet again. Theodore was wondering what she was thinking. Can't catch me, shouted Emily all of a sudden, and off she raced towards the harbor. Oh, that's as easy as 1, 2, 3, smiled Theodore.
You know, between you and me, I knew that Theodore could put that ship wherever he wanted her to go. And you know something else? I bet if I just tried it again, I can get this stuck drawer of mine shut. A little jiggle here, a little wiggle there, and closed. Now I can get on with my harbor inspection. Thanks for visiting us here in the big harbor, and we'll see you all again next time. Did you ever have one of those days?
Theodore, he's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Oda, Hank and George and the harbor master too.